Hello, Internet. This I, Renorumi. Howdy. Today, we're gonna do something different. Today, I'm behind on my drama. Stuff. So I gotta get caught up, right? I gotta get caught up on all the drama stuff. I'm gonna talk about it here and there in between. But I figured I would start with my bestest boy, so I can kind of get caught up on, like, some of the old school drama, right? Because there is some old school drama. Being Silenced by Nuxtaku, which came out 9 months ago. This man is, like, for those who don't know, Nux is a bit of a prophet here on the interweb. I'm not saying I would trust this man with my left testicle or anything, but the probability is quite up there. I definitely do think that this guy has a lot of merit when it comes to just knowing stuff behind the scenes and knowing how stuff works and activates and yada yada blah 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 blah. That's not to say that, you know, I trust everything Nux says, but this is from 8 months ago, and this is talking about a different situation. I believe it's Zion. Yeah, it's Zion stuff. So I wanted to look into the Zion stuff first, before we get into the crazier shit, by the way, because, oh boy, there's a lot of stuff going on in this stuff. Burp-a-derp-a-derp-a-derp. So if I come off a little tired, I'm sorry in advance, but we are going to pretty much watch this stuff, see how it goes. First, I'm going to cut on some cold air, because I am burning up. My house is hot right now. But I'm cutting on the cold air real quick, just for a little bit. I'll fix it later, promise. Anyway, there we go. Alright. Yo, we got cold air, gamers. Alright, I kind of am working with a new setup here, so be patient with me. Would I normally do this type of video stream? No. No, I would not. So that's just a starters. So, let us, I hope this picks up volume-wise. Actually, let me check everything first. Open volume mixer. I want to make sure you guys can hear it fine. Wait, what the fuck? Okay, that's interesting. Why don't I see... Huh? How's that work?
A modern-day equivalent of defense.
Let's see here. Whoa. Before you start, Nux Goodman. Before you start your ranting and raving, Nux Goodman, give me a second to get situated. Alright. Okay, so I watch a lot of Nux content anyway. So I've heard a little bit on and off about the whole situation of Nijisanji. I don't know the exact extents or anything like that. I haven't really done thorough research, if you will. But we're going to learn about it today. We're going to go a bit down of a rabbit hole. I picked out a few videos that I've seen here and there, and I'm like, oh, that might be interesting. Some from people we know, some people we may not know. So, without further ado, shall we get started on the video? All right.
A modern-day equivalent of defending yourself in court is basically being able to defend yourself in a public platform on the internet. I know that obviously there might be hyperbole in that statement, but the reason why I am here today is because I wanted to talk about something incredibly important, something imperative in the online landscape, and something that more and more people like being able to control. I feel like people are recognizing...
It's gonna be like, he's gonna start talking about how people, like, are being controlled by, like, companies, and people want to be controlled by companies or something. I feel like that's where this is going to start off going down. More than likely, it's gonna be like, it's gonna probably be something that silly. I guess.
The power that the internet gives every individual in order to protect themselves, defend themselves, and basically justify their own actions. And a lot more companies and people in positions of power are trying their absolute best to silence those that could potentially harm their reputation. People are...
As somebody who works at a fucking plant, I can 100% collaborate, whatever the word is. Yeah, no, companies hate it when workers fucking act out at all. So that's not at all surprising. Okay.
Are used to being able to just control narratives via money and power, and people really don't like the fact that, well, unfortunately, everyone with a voice and a phone can essentially get their message out to millions. Unfortunately, this has been going on far too much, and I think being that we recognize the world as an internet landscape where anyone could say anything, sometimes people don't say things, and people take that silence to mean defeat.
A lot of people don't say shit.
Accept that silence as admitting to their failure, to their crimes.
In a weird way, I kind of am one of them. I don't say a lot of shit that's going on. Yo, I was about to say that. Nah,
when that's very often not the case. Being silenced on a popular platform, being silenced on the internet is far more dangerous in many ways.
Yeah, it's very dangerous out here, gamer.
Being that people accept the fact that you should be able to defend yourself publicly, more often than not, this silencing that goes unnoticed and is...
Oh, what? This drama? Yo, we're learning about drama today. Welcome, Antisocial Contract. Today we're learning about drama. I'm a bit behind on the whole Nijisanji stuff, and I figured I would listen to our good boy Nux Goodman, attorney at law, to give me a bit of an understanding of some of the old stuff, so we can go into the new stuff. I think I heard this, but never looked into it. Oh, yeah, well, strap in your buttholes, because we're going to learn a little bit about it today. Oh, goodness. I will be pausing probably quite a bit to put in my input here and there. I've got a few videos picked out. I think I have maybe a false eye video here and there. Kicks open door. It's a dark. Yo, we're looking at drama today, boys. We're now a drama channel. That's what's happening. Could you imagine me being drama? What? Impossible.
Accepted as
my goodness.
Taking the L. As it goes to extreme.
Companies, by the way, before I continue, companies hate when they're, one, if their employees are correct, two, if they have to take the L. They will never admit defeat. It's so sad, but it's one of those things that's really aggravating about companies. I work for a plant, and they use a lot of the upper management to like talk through, like, to us, to talk down to us. It's very cringe. I have a request for one to watch. You are more than welcome to give it. We're taking as many requests today, boys.
Dreams to the point that every time some YouTuber
but first,
or whatever
we're gonna finish this.
Being accused of some heinous crime, it's immediately guilty
heinous?
Or proven innocent. But most of those YouTubers at least have the ability to defend themselves and prove their innocence.
Except
today we are taking a deep dive down into a dark, dim, decrepit rabbit hole. I had enough of being silenced. It's time to nut all over the situation. It's time to be toxic.
It's
toxic.
Yes! Toxic to toxic people! Wholesome to wholesome people, let's go!
It's been a long time coming. For me, making this video is kind of
Monster Hunter review.
Finding something amazing
okay, mayhaps. We
it
may
to
end off the stream with that.
500th page of the hub. A true diamond in the rough. A gem among the shite. I don't know if I'm going to leave this video up for a long time, to be honest.
Well, it's still up. It's still up, so to his credit, man is a prophet.
It's time to open a lid on the only thing in this world more mysterious than a woman. The silencing practices of massive companies.
God damn.
So there's this big VTuber group by the name of Nijisanji.
Nijisanji, tell me about it.
It's the biggest in the world. It's based in Japan, and they have a lot of contractual obligations. Recently, they banned a VTuber by the name of Zion. Zion was terminated from this group.
Who is Zion?
Well, they basically aired out a laundry list of crimes that this VTuber did.
What does it say? Thank you for always supporting Nijisanji and Nijisanji EN. We are sorry to announce the termination of our contract. Zion Laza was reputedly beg your pardon, contract. I'm not going to sit here and read all of it. That feels a little bit, but this sounds like a bunch of gobbledygook. What'd she get terminated for?
When you read this list of stuff and the reason why Zion was banned from Nijisanji, you start to think to yourself, whoa, wait a minute. This person's the Antichrist. When I was reading through all the things that she did, I was half surprised it didn't include the fact that she probably incited the Fire Nation to attack the other nation.
So when Zion, let me guess, when Zion got terminated, what he's going to say is that they pretty much took her name and, like, flung it through the mud. Yo, at my company I work for, like the plant I work for, they keep up like with like the tiniest little shit. Like for example, say you, like, break a case, like, because I work at a furniture plant. Say if you break a case that's coming down the line, right? Like, they'll write that up and they'll put it in your record, and then, like, if they have a reason they want you to be fired or get rid of you, they can bring that up and say, well, you damaged company property right here, and you're like, what? I didn't damage any company property. And they'll use that as an excuse to, like, terminate you or fire you. So I feel like this is very similar, probably a very similar situation. They probably got her for something, like, very obscure. Probably something really dumb.
She did Avatar.
I'm
it was
curious.
Incredibly and extraordinarily kind.
Oh yeah,
of
I will definitely love it if it's a Maxar video.
She's
I
the
will
one
watch
that
it.
gave the Infinity Stones to Thanos too. But obviously, after releasing this Giga Chad of a laundry list, obviously the entire world is going against it. This Giga Chad of a laundry.
The actions performed by Zion that led us to this decision are listed as follows. Using the copyrighted song in her stream without prior authorization, realizing internal information that can potentially cause issue and for stockholders during her stream. Of course, the stockholders. Oh, yeah. They're really going to be making statements that could lead to speculation of leaking of internal information using social media as blah, blah, blah. I can't see that. Offensive remarks regarding or sexual assault? Huh? What? Sexual infraction of rules pertaining to use of games defined by any color? Bro, these people can't decide what games they play? That sounds awful. What the fuck? I can imagine working for, like, as a VTuber and being told, hey, you know how you've been playing Final Fantasy? Yeah, you gotta stop that. Huh? No more Final Fantasy. Huh? What do you mean? Yeah, no, we looked at the books. Can't play it anymore. Get it out of here. You can't do that. Oh my god. Comments that can be considered offensive of the rights holders of a game during stream. Dude, if a game's shit, I'm sorry, giving false information to other Nijisanji livers regarding to contents of her communications with probably any color, right, is what it's going to say. Falsely claiming to have received permission from any color after a viewer commented bubble blue. Falsely claiming to be supported by brand during stream. Huh? Wait, what? Is this going to be like something stupid? That one right there is really dumb. Falsely claiming to be sponsored by a brand during... Okay, I doubt they did that. Probably mentioned a brand or something is what they got her for, right? Giving likes to comments falling under defamation towards Nijisanji. Lifers in any color. Okay. Numerous other actions that comments... Okay, this is really dumb. This is a dumb laundry list right there.
She is, like, obviously evil if she's done all these horrible things. Right. And, well, of course, Zion didn't respond for a long time. Okay. Well, things have changed.
Has she responded?
Now, Zion, of course, did not respond because Zion is a character created by Nijisanji.
Like,
this
DMCAs,
is a company
right?
that created a character, and, well, that character ceases to exist the moment that character is terminated from the project.
No.
In fact, in the contract itself,
Wait,
no one is even allowed to claim that they are Zion after the fact. So how can you actually defend yourself if you can't even claim that you are the person that was terminated? Well, a VTuber by the name of Sayu, who sounds a lot like Zion, but is definitely not Zion because it's
not Zion. It's clearly not.
Nijisanji pulled a Kurapika from Hunter x Hunter, brought a shovel to the fight before it even began, and Sayu releases a massive 4 bajillion page document
Jesus
disproving
Christ.
a lot of these claims made by Nijisanji.
Holy
this is something
fuck,
that is unprecedented in the corporate VTuber world and pretty much in the idol world as a whole. In Japan, they view VTubers kind of like idols, where they're owned by their management, and nothing they say can possibly be said or used in any...
That's kind of similar, just with normal jobs. Like, all the jobs I've had, and I've worked, let's just put it this way. For example, grocery, I've worked, or grocery, what do you call it? Some people call it something different, but I've worked 7+ years, and at the current plant I'm working at, I've worked 5 years. They treat workers like shit. They act like they own us, and anytime you speak up, they're like, No, no, no. You know, you get really pissy, dude. And they get real petty, too. God, my previous workplace, petty fuckers, dude.
Possible way against the company.
See, you're watching
what
the fire from afar, too.
And, well,
yes, we are going to watch everything burn.
Bad and
might as well.
Actors, so I kind of
if there's a tire fire, why not
it really
watch
is
it?
taking the power away from the people to such a large extent that any talent that is blackballed by Nijisanji, well, they will have no possible defense. Many people have been sued by this company in the past for, you know, defamation or breach of contract, and it's understandably why people are scared to do this kind of thing. Every time there's some sort of Nijisanji drama going on, all the Nijisanji members flood Twitter with, man, I do love my family over here at Nijisanji and stuff like that.
Yeah,
you can
okay,
no longer really
yeah.
trust exactly what
they're probably
what is coming from the...
Man, I hate to pause it so much, but they're probably every time that they do that, anytime a person gets terminated, and this is coming from a person who just doesn't know how these people work. If I had to guess, it's going to be 100% like the management comes up to them and is like, all right, guys, listen. You guys just need to say, oh, we love our family. We love working here, guys. We're totally safe. Because they do similar stuff like at plant job. I'm not gonna lie. The bosses will come tell our managers like, oh yeah, make them say this. Yo, we got like OSHA coming by, so make sure that none of the bad actor workers talk out against us, so you know we don't get in trouble or fix any of our leaks in the ceiling.
This talent that you're watching, what is maybe coming from the company. Now, I mean absolutely no ill will towards any of the talent. This is the contract that they're signing, and I don't even mean ill will to the company per se. It's just business. However, it's really nice to see that finally, after a landscape of everyone being silenced, after so many people are being kicked out of different groups and different areas, Zion didn't say anything, but some things were said in Zion's name, because Zion doesn't exist. And she was able to debunk a lot of the claims against her. Of course, I will be linking her document below so you can actually check it out if you want to. And I'm not a drama channel that's just reading shiz out for y'all. That's not what I'm doing here. I'm a man making insightful commentary.
Okay, but then why again
I feel like a lot
am I watching it, Nux, huh? Why am I'm watching you here to go down the rabbit hole and learn about the Nijisanji. Now, the Nijisanji, the ninja drama.
Really goofing into, but this era of silencing finally took a massive hit to the gonads in a system where no one...
That's an ad. Damn, dude. Imagine having to deal with ads in this day and age.
No one wants to tussle with the muscle. It's really nice to see the muscle tussled with. And I know a thing or two about muscle. Not that I have any, but tomboy hentai is peak. A lot of the claims on the actual laundry
list... Alright, hands up. Tomboy hentai, guys. Come on, I know y'all have watched it. Come on. Y'all watch me. Of course y'all have watched Tomboy.
Nijisanji, like, you know, claiming that she was sponsored by a game. Turns out it wasn't that she was claiming being sponsored by a game. She said in a video that, oh, this video is sponsored by D's Nuts. I do love D's Nuts a lot. Oh,
no, Sean! No! No! Did she get terminated over a D's Nuts joke? That is so cringe. No. No. That's not real.
And there's an
I don't believe that.
That's the name of the company is D's Nuts. And they were like, haha,
wait,
you claim that you are sponsored by D's Nuts. Which is the most ridiculous, obviously sarcastic thing that could possibly be said in a stream. However, in the context that it was put in the Nijisanji firing notice, it was you were claimed to be sponsored by a company. And this really thin twisting of words was used for the majority of the claims that Nijisanji actually gave in regards to Zion's termination. I hope there is no lawsuit coming, although I would not be surprised if there is. All of Zion's document thingy that was released was completely looked over by lawyers 100%. So I really hope everything is completely safe and secure on that end. I do not want any stress or trouble coming that way. In an era of people being silenced, this is a massive dub for the people that just can't shut up, which is people like me. I am suffering from that very same disease.
Bro, I love this man.
In past dramas that I've had, I have been threatened by my adversaries, and they basically said, if you promise to never mention any of X people ever again, we will calm things down for you. To which I declined, obviously.
Yo, I remember when his drama happened. Oh fuck, dude. Morning, howdy, welcome. I remember when Nux's drama happened because I'm a fan of like Melody and Iron Mouse and Zentreya and whatnot. I remember when his drama happened. It was crazy. Like I didn't pick a side. It was one of those things where it's like both sides where I felt like were at fault to a certain extent. This man was just trying to help out, like, VTubers not get stuck, like, in a bad spot at the time. And then VShojo just kind of, like, wasn't doing shit about it. And it escalated fast. Friendships were ruined out of his situation. But that's not the thing we're watching today. Let's continue.
Obviously.
Also,
but if that happened to me, all right, little old me, then obviously these silencing practices are massively widespread, and they don't just come in contractual terms either. It's not just if you're the talent of a company, the company is going to use everything they possibly can to silence you and to prevent your perspective getting out, so the company is completely in the right. Obviously, that happens every single time anything happens. You saw with the FaZe clan collapsing just recently. All these different FaZe members started coming out with their stories that they weren't able to talk about earlier. And it's not just groups. There are so many ways to manipulate narratives in today's day and age on the internet. It is disgusting. For example, copyright. Copyright has become a weapon being wielded by people left and right because they can use this
what is the next video?
To silence criticism. There is a friend of mine. He's been on the Some Ordinary.
Let's see here. The next video, we have quite a few. I want to react to a message from Nijisanji EN, but I think we're going to watch documenting the worst PR disaster in VTuber history. So I have some of these videos I haven't clicked on yet or watched. There's a new one that I think, let's see, the Nijisanji situation got a lot worse, which is more recent also. We got like 3 real recent ones. I wanted to showcase the Nux Taku one first, out of the sheer fact that this man, like, I watch a lot of Nux, and this man does predict a lot of things that happen, which is kind of crazy. And I just wanted to confirm, because I remembered him talking about this situation, but I couldn't remember why. And I've never watched a lot of Nijisanji. Part 1 or Part 2? Part 1 of what? Or Part 2 of what? Is there a Part 2 of it? Hang on.
Podcast.
We're going to continue watching this, and then we will go to the other ones. I promise.
Specifically, because it's not my business to be the one to publicize it, but basically, he used a 5-second clip in like an hour-long video, and the clip belonged to someone else. That guy struck the video, and not only did he strike the video, but he basically said, if you don't pay me X amount of thousands of dollars, I will not only not unstrike the video, but I will take you to court over this.
That's true.
And you will be bankrupt. And the dude had to actually fork over a couple $1,000s to get this
because
guy
most people can't afford
to
it to begin with.
Remove the claim. You have villains in the YouTube sphere recently just dropping 3 strikes on a channel because
the worst disaster video. If there's a part 2 to it, we will find it and we'll watch it as well.
Who's been arrested also
I haven't
do
seen
the
either.
same thing, where he's basically just copyright striking criticism. This isn't exactly news. Copyright abuse has been popular on YouTube for the last millennia.
Yeah,
Ever since YouTube basically lost a massive lawsuit and decided, you know what, I don't want to stick my butt into copyright disputes. You guys could just fight it out in court if you want. It's just been brutal.
Pretty
for
much.
Yeah,
it's kind of fucked. YouTube really did screw anybody over
because of their incredibly loose breaking of the rules. Whether you're Leafy bullying Pokimane and you get banned because of videos like that. Or you're Andrew Tate,
just granting now?
And you get banned on YouTube because you're basically a misogynist and you say women are property, which I mean I can sort of see why you got banned. But anyway, I digress. The point is, we're living in a world where you feel like every piece of information you're given could be disputed by your opponent. Every time someone says something, well, what they're saying must be true, because if it was false, whoever they're saying it about could just basically come back around and fight back and drop the receipts.
That's true.
But unfortunately, that's not the case.
When you're working for a company, though, you can't.
It's an incredibly real and prevalent issue in the modern landscape on the internet, where it feels like everyone could say everything. And that's one of the things that makes the internet and internet discourse so great. Unfortunately, it's just not the case. unfortunately, there's so much silencing going on.
When you work for a company, that company will do everything in its power to make sure that you cannot say what you want to say about it outside of the company. I know I keep bringing it back up. I work for a plant. They hate it when you speak outside of... Like, if they used to have for example, our plant, they used to have a Facebook page. So that way they could communicate with their workers, let us know if, like, you know, like, if weather's bad or anything like that. They don't do anything like that anymore because people who worked for the company would badmouth them and they got really pissy about it, which is really funny. Yo, Vivi, Doctor Who? We will watch Doctor Who afterwards, I promise. I promise, Vivi, we will watch Doctor Who afterwards. I am currently getting caught up on all the ninja dramas, and I will be there in a little while. It may be a while. I'm getting caught up on dramas. I would join call, but I'd be bothering everybody.
That what you're seeing is
now?
Not always the full story.
No.
The logic of, well, if it's not true,
no,
the other guy will just respond is not always an accurate response or metric to judge veritability on. There's a YouTuber by the name of Kavos that made videos basically attacking Deji for subbotting, and, well, Deji sued him under slander laws that are in the UK.
Nijisanji?
The dude had to take his videos down because, well, he got sued. That, again, is silencing that is not actually viewed.
Now we're not doing anything?
I mean, I think that the public eye would see something like that and be like, well, you know, I guess I made a mistake. Guess he didn't subbot. I'm going to remove these videos. I'm gonna not talk about this ever again. I'm going to never mention Deji's name ever again.
I'm just waiting.
When actually it's a court-mandated thing and, you know, someone who can't actually go up against this dude in court, and he's just willing to take that L for the sake of not completely using all of his money and all of his funds to fight a losing battle in court. This is all alleged. I've heard this word of mouth.
Another name for a black company.
Allegedly, this went on. I can give you example after example of just the world collapsing around you. All of a sudden,
I got you
everyone thinks that one side is right and the other side is wrong because the wrong side should just dispute what's being said. Very, very often, that is just not an option. In the VTuber world, you have Nijisanji doing this kind of stuff, and I don't want to talk about, like, random rumors and stuff that I've heard about Yugo that might have been substantiated. A previous talent that left Nijisanji and didn't say anything about why he left.
I don't even know who that is.
Let's not talk about that one. Hopefully that truth will get revealed at some point to the public. In the modern day,
that doesn't sound good.
Platforms silencing people because they go against their agenda, or whether it's copyright silencing people just through abusive measures, or it's silencing people via lawsuits where they unfortunately just don't have the leg to stand on to fight back. Whether it's silencing people because you are a massive company and they signed rights to you. On an internet landscape where it looks like everything is cut and dry and everyone has a voice, unfortunately, the sad and dark truth is not everyone does. I feel like this was a really important video to make because this is a side of a story that I feel like a lot of people haven't seen or heard. It's almost like this side of the story is a side of the story that's been silenced. If you could do me a favor and silently hit that subscribe button, it would...
Bitch, I'm already subscribed to you. Okay, so that was just kind of our little leeway into, you know, what's going on. So this happened 9 months ago with the Zion situation. So now the real question is, which video should I be watching next? So I don't... This one here's by Rev Says Desu, which recently happened. So I'm going to get to watch that one. It's going to be the last one. So we have documenting the worst... Okay, yeah, so there is a part 2 of this. Okay, we'll have to watch part 2 as well. Fuck, dude. And then we have a message from Nijisanji. I don't know if this one's going to be in any of these videos. I imagine it will be. If it is, then we'll just skip over this video because we won't probably need anything. But yeah, let's get into it, gamers. Let's see what some drama is. Let's figure out what's going on. And I do know about Doki Bird to a certain degree. So
you know, when a situation gets to a point where it's so catastrophic, people start saying the phrase, I hope this gets taught at universities so that it never...
Is it that bad?
Well,
this
is exactly what's been happening in the Nijisanji and Selen Tatsuki situation. Or, better yet, incident. Because when I say that this is catastrophic, I don't mean to say it just in regards to VTubing. No, I say this in regard to the entire internet. because this is one of the biggest cases of corporate mismanagement I've ever seen in my life. We're talking about a management team that didn't do anything about internal bullying and harassment and let someone almost die because of their negligence.
Hello? Okay, it's nothing, I guess.
Purposefully waited until we got somewhat of a satisfying conclusion because yes, there is a good ending here, thankfully. And what ended up happening to the corporation, or what is currently happening, is hilarious.
Okay.
This is gonna be
I like hilariousness.
Right, so here's the deal. To really understand the severity of the situation, you have to understand the ecosystem of VTubing in general. The biggest players in VTubing often are associated to a corporation. These corporations tend to be from
like
Japan,
Hololive, or I guess
Nijisanji. They kind of work
There's like the only two I really know.
Where they literally, and I mean literally, own everything. And yes, that also includes your VTuber model. Okay, this one in particular is fan-made, the ugly bastard. But you get the point. They makes you you. And it goes without saying, they also have access to all your social media accounts. They have passwords,
this seems about right.
Whatever they want. They can delete whatever they want. It's up to them.
Oh, goddamn.
People will sign with them anyway, though, because they're attracted by the idea of this network, of these resources, of all the stuff that the corporation can do for them. Just like how musicians will still sign with music labels. Currently, the two biggest corporations in VTubing are Hololive and Nijisanji. Hololive is owned by its parent company, Cover, and Nijisanji is owned by its parent company, Anycolor. Now, you probably already know this by now from the title of this video and where we're heading with this, but the corporation at the center of this incident is Nijisanji's English branch, which is of course owned by Anycolor. But one thing you might not know is just how much Anycolor is worth. When it was put on the Japanese stock exchange in 2022, the worth of the company was at $2.5 billion.
That's a lot of money.
That's American dollars.
That's a lot of money. I'll never have that much money.
It pays to have anime girl avatars talk in front of a camera. VTubing's main source of revenue always came from Japan, but in 2020, during the pandemic's peak of loneliness, Nijisanji and Hololive saw an opportunity. English-speaking weebs. That's when the main of the hour was created, which is Nijisanji's
that's
English
fair.
branch. Selen was in the second ever English branch wave, which is Obsidia. She's right here, as you can see. But before even joining Nijisanji, she used to be known as Doki Bird. Initially, she was drawing Twitch emotes, and then started streaming. People loved her wacky personality, and she was just having fun. She then joined Nijisanji's English branch under Obsidia alongside Roseby Lovelock and Petra Gurin. She was in love with the game Apex Legends. She would play that whenever she could. People quickly fell in love with her personality, and she was truly known to care about her fans way too much, often making big sacrifices to make them happy. She called them her Dragoons.
Okay, that's
But you know what? Since her first stream in July of 2021 with Nijisanji, things were going really well. Or at least, that's what people thought. Because at the end of 2023, news would come out that would turn the VTuber community upside down. It all started on Christmas Day, a day you're meant to enjoy with
a day
family.
meant for happiness.
It couldn't have gone worse.
Shit. Oh, the drama is the drama's still going. I know that YouTube has done a part 2 video. There is a part 2 video of this. We will watch part 2 after this. I'm getting caught up, guys. I'm behind. Guys, I'm behind. I'm getting caught up on the drama.
This entire catastrophe?
You guys are getting caught up on the drama with me.
Wait, huh? On a music video for her fans. She paid $15,000 out of her own pocket because Nijisanji wouldn't fund it. And on top of not funding it...
Wait, she works for the company doesn't fund her fucking project? What the fuck? Wait... Huh? That's really fucking dumb.
They take down the video in under 24 hours.
Huh? But why?
Remember what I said about corporations and how they have access to all social media of their VTubers? Yeah, that's what happened.
Yo,
is it? Do anything about it?
All because of a music video. Wait, is it because like are they gonna be like, oh, you didn't go through the proper channels? Did she have permission? I bet she had permission to post it, right? She had to have. She had permission, I bet, from the like person who like originally made the song or some shit, and then like the company was like, but you didn't go through the proper channels to do this. It's gonna be something stupid.
Do under the very tight
it's gonna be something stupid.
Of a corporation is make up a vague tweet, sort of explaining what's going on to her fans.
Hello, I apologize, but management has prevented the song. Please feel free to re-upload since a lot of money and effort was done by so many dragoons. I'm really sad that this happened on Christmas, but I hope somehow you guys will still be able to listen to it some way. Okay, that's kind of fucked, dude. It's like right on Christmas, you spent all this money and then you don't, like, your people don't get to see it? Dude. She had permission. She paid $15K. Fuck, dude.
In it, she says, "Hello, I apologize."
Okay, he read it. Oops.
Please feel free to re-upload
I just read that. I feel bad.
Many fans were asking
didn't have to read it.
To treat their
Fall size get Gamark daily updates and breakdowns. He's basically VTuber news. I don't watch a lot of VTuber news.
Such a hard time, okay?
I don't have the time half the time. That's why we're doing it on stream today. Just to chill, reacting to
lose so much hard
drama.
Just like that. So they were understandably worried about her mental state. But no one
Since we're like
could have been ready
a very poggers drama channel now,
2
apparently.
days after the music video got taken down. Because out of nowhere, on December 27th, she tweets on her account, "I apologize for the silence. I've been in the hospital after an accident and will be staying there for a few days to be under supervision. I just got back access to my phone yesterday." That's not something you want to see your favorite VTuber ever tweet out. Now look, at the time, her dragoons did what any good fans
Oh yeah,
would,
that's right. She tried to. Oh yeah, she tried to commit seppuku. Fuck,
what
dude.
Many couldn't see at the time, though, is that there's something in this
that's
tweet
right.
that's very weird. And
okay, I do remember this.
The Japanese apostrophe.
Japanese
As you
apostrophe.
Can see from this tweet here by VT Screens, there are 2 examples of 2 different tweets.
Wait,
both made by another VTuber in the Nijisanji
one
English
looks
called Anna Alouette.
Okay, that's
in the first
weird.
tweet, a normal apostrophe is used, but in the second, a quote-unquote Japanese apostrophe is used, signifying that the first tweet was tweeted by her and that the second tweet was tweeted by her management team. The implication
Wait,
of such
so
an accusation is
she didn't even message back. It was her. It was the
itself
company.
is a PR
What?
A disaster by every magnitude.
Dude,
but at the time, the only people who really knew what was going on were
a company message.
Her emergency contact.
Oh,
we'll get to that later.
That's bad.
Nijisanji, her parents, and her lawyer. But as far as everyone else was concerned, her
really
fans
fucked.
and even her closest friends, their only source of updates were her tweets. So 4 days after being hospitalized, she tweets, "Thank you to everyone for the support since I've been gone. I'm discharged from
yeah, so see, now the I've and the I'm is like normal.
Thank you to my dragoons for all the kindness and support. I will keep trying my best in the new year. You are what keeps me going." Now, of course, people were happy she was out of the hospital, but the concern was still there. It was very vague, and people didn't know what was going on.
That it was an attempt.
As you might have concluded from watching this video so far, things only got worse. 2 weeks after Selen's hospitalization, Nijisanji's English branch tweets, "Due to unforeseen reasons, we would like to announce that Selen Tatsuki will not be able to participate in any activities at Anime Impulse Los Angeles 2024 on January 13th to 14th. We sincerely apologize for the inconvenience and disappointment caused to fans who have been looking forward to this." And then they detailed that the fans were going to get refunds.
Hang on.
Now, all the replies here couldn't care less about the event and are all hoping for Selen's recovery. They're very supportive and are pretty much just giving their thoughts and prayers to her. But this was the first time since she got out of the hospital that we got any form of updates on her, and it's been 2 weeks. People were starting to get worried. So another 2 weeks passed by. Now it's been 1 full month since
a whole month
she got out of the hospital. So at this point, patience started to run real thin, okay? Prompting her fans to rally around the hashtag #WhereIsSelen on Twitter, demanding answers just to know that she's okay, alive and breathing. This is
even my friend Sane had like a little milk carton with Selen's face on it during one of her streams because she's a fan of Selen, aka Doki Bird. So yeah, that's not surprising.
Tweet that started it. If this statement comes off as asking for too much defense,
she's just been gone that long.
And many other dragoons have been worried about her well-being, and I think it's gone long enough to not hear from Nijisanji directly. The most important thing to understand here is that at this point, even if you watched VTubers she interacted with, they wouldn't mention her. Nijisanji, her corporation, who has the responsibility to represent her, wouldn't mention her either.
So the company probably told them not to even talk about her because they knew they were going to terminate her, right?
Just 1 day after the hashtag started trending, a friend of Selen, RPR, said, "It's been over a month of pure silence and is starting to get concerning. It would be nice to know where and how Selen is doing at the very least." Things were starting to heat up, but of course, in the VTuber community, nothing is really one-sided. even when it comes to something like this. Some people still manage to find wrong things with that tweet and with that hashtag, defending Nijisanji and defending Selen's privacy. This shows that Nijisanji's English branch has huge problems because when a talent of theirs says they've been hospitalized and then disappears for a month, you can't just not say anything. You can't
True.
Just let the fan base fight within it.
The fan base would go nutty.
Mismanagement. But there's always a but in the story if you think this has been mismanagement so far. Buddy, now we're getting into the meat of the situation.
The meat and potatoes?
Just a few days after the Where Is Selen hashtag was created, all of Selen's videos on her YouTube channel were private, including past VODs. Her Twitter was private as well, all simultaneously, and then a mega-sized nuclear bomb drops on everyone's heads. The Selen Tatsuki termination notice. This was so massive that the day it happened, it was everywhere on Twitter.
Holy
if you
shit.
didn't follow VTubers, you probably have seen something in reference to
this
incident. But
I've heard a lot of
why this is one of the most badly written termination notices I've ever seen in my life. One thing to keep in mind. There are two ways a VTuber can leave an agency.
A graduation or termination, right?
In which they pretty much leave on amicable terms. And they make it a celebration, which is why they call it a graduation. They have a graduation stream.
Yeah, they just end off with good terms. Everybody shakes hands, slaps each other's asses.
What happens to someone like Rioran, where the company claims that they breached the contract.
Company just takes and lobotomizes you real time.
Fired. So just imagine, okay, you're a fan. You've been waiting 1 month to hear back from Selen after she was hospitalized, and her company comes in and says, yeah, you know what? She's fired. Excuse me, what?
Dude.
Like, what? And of course, they also got community noted. But we'll get into that later. First, the terribly written termination notice. This is a very vaguely, very badly translated termination letter. We don't really get any specific reason as to why she got terminated, just very vague ones. I mean, look at this. They say that Selen has repeatedly violated the activity rules. The activity rules is something that all VTubers have to comply with under Nijisanji. Right? But then when you read into what the activity rules actually were, they say they encompass a wide range of issues, such as non-compliance with rights confirmation and authorization flows. What does that even mean? What are we talking about, a jet engine or a VTuber's termination? But many of the things that we're talking about in the first page,
that's fucking nuts.
Spoken about in the second
that's fucking nuts.
And most of this revolves around the music video, which is why they gave it an entire section on this termination notice.
Really?
They say that
over the music video that she paid out of pocket for?
Because all relevant parties had to be okay with it. Of course, she was under the impression that she could post it because not only
everybody said it was good though, right?
$15,000, but according to the community notes, the person behind the original song had given full authorization to Nijisanji to use the song.
I let them.
But no, you know what? Let's take it down and not even tell the fans
why so she even down, right? So she let them have permission. Everything should be peachy.
It also went against Nijisanji's rules. Because, hey, communication, we don't do that here, buddy. Nope. Still though, they had the gall to claim that these actions led to various misunderstandings that damaged the reputation of both Anycolor and Nijisanji. Buddy. Listen, let me tell you something. She's not the one damaging the reputation right now.
It sounds like they are.
Because we are getting to the darkest section of the termination notice. In an effort to calm the situation, we sought to either publicly disclose the reasons for making the
self-reported. They tried to cover their asses by making the other person look evil. They're dumbasses.
Did their best to communicate not only
with
Selen Tatsuki herself, but also her emergency contact. However, despite frequent communication with Selen Tatsuki's emergency contact while remaining considerate of her situation, we were unable to come to an agreement on how to proceed. The decision was made to temporarily remove her access to accounts on various social media platforms and video distribution services under the name Selen Tatsuki. Dude, this is so much worse now that we know what happened. This is so badly written. So you have to ask yourself why they're even talking to her emergency contact. And you also have to understand, what does while remaining considerate of her situation even mean? In any case, you couldn't stay curious about this.
Ooh, that's legal jargon for not our fault. Puts finger on nose.
Anycolor should be held legally responsible. It means she's suing them. She claimed that she was no longer able to engage in her activities as a liver due to the decisions made by Anycolor, was being harassed by other affiliated livers due to mismanagement, etc.
That seems about right.
Way, as if it's like a little
favoritism does happen.
While refusing to acknowledge her responsibility for violating the activity rules. Moreover, Selen Tatsuki insisted that if the negotiations did not progress, she would proceed to release a statement regarding her claims to the public. This little sentence sparked a war on Twitter. Okay, the fact that she was being bullied internally.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
That this letter was going to make Nijisanji look better in this situation, because you know what the cherry on top is? Even Selen had no idea. She saw the termination notice as everyone else was seeing it too.
Oh,
so she got
what? Wait,
the worst thing to come out of this
no shot.
Controversy. The attempt she made on her life. I will not be silenced anymore. On December, I was hospitalized for an attempt that was caused by a buildup of bullying from within and being in a toxic and poor environment for numerous months that led to my breaking point. I requested to leave first, but on more neutral terms on the 26th of January. So yeah, this bullying that Nijisanji mentioned so lightly actually caused her to almost lose her life. But no, guys, we gotta terminate her. She's too much of a stain on our reputation.
Oh my God.
This is what I mean when I say this needs to be taught at universities. This could not have been handled in a worse way. You have one of your top talents almost end their own lives over a
really fucking bad.
Company. And your concern is your reputation. Like, I'm sorry, that is ridiculous.
It's not surprising.
This is what ruined your reputation, buddy. This right here, the fact that so many people saw this tweet and understood what a terrible company you are. I mean, seriously.
I can agree to this. We've had people get hurt at our company, and then you never hear from them. That like those people again. The company will be like, "Oh yeah, no, you know, you're fine. You're covered with everything," and then like they're gone. You never hear from them again. You don't know what happened to them. They didn't make a lawsuit or a big stink. They got rid of them. They don't want you to know about them. It's crazy, but obviously if you know them outside of work, you can always contact them. But that's in a real world setting and not an online setting like this.
So far we understood that she was bullied internally. Almost lost her life.
Not surprising.
And still wanted
workers
to
do bully other workers in the
fans
community.
Without any more drama.
That's not surprising.
But now that we know all this information, we have to take a step back on something very important. So here's the thing. Nijisanji self-reported themselves in the notice by admitting something they probably shouldn't have. As this Reddit post points out, Niji stated they stripped Selen's access from all accounts on December 26th, so these two tweets were written by staff impersonating.
Oh my God, they did self-report!
So you're telling me that someone on your team
holy shit, these people are
and the day after
they're
stupid.
When they're in
the hospital, you tweet
they're so dumb.
And then you also have the gall to announce that they got out of the hospital there with family, speaking directly to their fans, looking forward to the year. And you actually think this is a good idea? This is Nijisanji doing a very great job of personifying exactly why people hate corporations.
They're being
puppeteered. And this is a perfect example of that. Furthering this point of not giving a single shit about anyone in the company, they threw all their talent, all their VTubers under the bus when they said that there was bullying and harassment and didn't give any names. Because after it got out that Selen almost died because of this, people started speculating in the worst possible way about who
Look at that growth.
They started unsubbing from all other
so happy for her.
English branch VTubers.
Holy shit.
As you can see from this tweet here, I need names. Now, whoever was allegedly harassing her from the livers needs to be known because if I support them, I do not want to any further.
Get fair. Valid.
Social media break also with the
I don't even know any of these Nijisanji people.
Because things were getting out of hand. However, at this point, one thing was certain. Nijisanji fucked up big time.
Holy shit.
Is when
Yo, Moist Critical talked about it. Oh, shit.
Ironic, Nijisanji mismanagement
how did I miss that?
They forgot to unmod Selen's mods on her YouTube channel.
Oh,
so
shit.
Awareness about the situation, they created a live stream that was never meant to go live and just spammed the chat with links to Doki Bird's channel. Saying Nijisanji fucked up. They did not remove the mod. Doki Bird on that stream chat on YouTube. The hashtag
massive L.
Well. This meant that people wanted to
massive W for Doki, but massive L for Ninja.
After Nijisanji had caught wind of the
That's so funny.
Went and did the same thing in her Twitch channel. But wait a second, now that I'm looking at this picture, I just realized, why did this person resub for 28 months? Are they not aware someone got terminated? Can someone tell them, please? As you can see, everyone is spamming
Holy shit.
the yacht. Someone also added Nijisanji to the list of Japanese black companies, aka a black corporation or black business is a Japanese term for the exploitative sweatshop type employment system.
It sounds about right.
As this was all going on,
what if the company I work for is a black company?
They were not going to work with Nijisanji anymore due to this. So here we can see a Clipper channel saying this. Here we can see a merch company doing this. They've worked with Nijisanji for years. And also Height, who makes PCs and had a huge collab planned with Nijisanji, straight up canceled.
Demolish.
No, look, you're not going to believe me when I say this. And you know what? You're right.
Fucking lobotomized.
After all this, okay? Nijisanji still managed to make it even worse. Yes, I know.
How? How could they possibly make it worse?
On their investor relations page. Impact of the decision to terminate the affiliation contract with the Nijisanji English Liver on our financial results. This was 2 days after the termination, mind you. On February 5th, 2024, any color made the decision to terminate our affiliation contract with the Nijisanji English Liver, Selen Tatsuki. The impact of this decision on our financial results will be negligible. Bro, you had someone almost kill themselves. Leave. You didn't even tell them that they're leaving. You terminated them, even though they wanted to leave on friendly terms.
That's
and
fucking
this is what you
rough,
have to say with everyone protesting. That is insane.
They're dumb.
To me. And they had never released a statement like this before on a termination, ever. Even Goldman Sachs had something to say about this, assuming minor earnings impact from VTuber contract termination. Anycolor's share price has fallen for consecutive days after it announced on February 5th that it had terminated the contract of Nijisanji English streamer Selen Tatsuki. We see minimal impact on company-wide earnings from terminating the contract of one VTuber.
They're looking at it from a business standpoint. That's so fucked.
accounted for only 90%
I'm not surprised,
of company-wide sales,
but fuck.
they wouldn't be affected that much. Imagine taking financial advice from Goldman Sachs. Because they kind of were. Not just a little bit, quite a lot.
Look at that growth, it's so sad.
Of market value.
It's so demolished.
10% throughout the course of this whole controversy. This is the graduation announcement. It tumbled. Then they thought, okay, we saw the worst of it. We're cool. And then ironically, on the 7th, they put out the document saying, hey, this financial impact's gonna be negligible, guys. Don't worry.
Boom!
Boom!
It just fucking crashes, dude.
Wiping
just a nuclear bomb
off their
just
market cap.
on their
Now,
fucking
yes,
marketplace.
Earlier, the company's worth over $2 billion, but
Holy
losing
shit.
10% of your stock price will never, ever look good for any investor. Any color believes terminating Selen Tatsuki won't negatively impact finances.
Fucking looks like it did. Looks like it did, dude.
But while this is looking very rough for Nijisanji right now, the good news is that it's not the case for Dokibird.
Yo!
It's a happy ending for her, thankfully.
The comeback story, right?
And she cried when they told her that from now on she can actually get sponsors
Let's
to fund the project instead
go!
of paying everything out of pocket. You see, it turns out that she spent over $200,000 just
Jesus
last year
Christ!
funding her own projects that Nijisanji would not fund themselves. According to her accountant, her mother, she made $0 last year. That's how crazy
Holy
it was.
shit, dude.
Her return stream that was done a few days
Wish
after
I had
she
that
came
much
out
money.
her Dokibird account had over 120,000 concurrent viewers for like 2 hours straight. It didn't drop at all. And if you're not familiar with streaming, that's
a pretty big
impressive.
number.
Like esports
That's a
events
big number.
And when she ended her stream, the total viewers that
damn,
1.1
you go, girl.
million. And
Fuck.
Nijisanji could have never predicted any of this because they're so stupid. They could have been by her side celebrating her success if they just supported her and didn't abandon her the way they did. But hey, she's free now and she's taking it all very well. This right here is a quote from one of her most recent streams. She said, so apparently the new Suicide Squad, oh, very poor choice of name. Considering recent events. Anyway,
you know what?
She's taking it really well, which is great.
Listen, when you go through stuff like this and you make a joke like that, that is your way of coping. I respect it. I understand. It's how you cope with trauma, dude.
She also did a vote
That's
to see
funny.
what she'd call her viewers now that she's Dokibird again, and they all voted Dragoons. And she said, well, screw it. It's not like it's copyrighted.
Yo, massive W, it's not copyrighted because it's a word.
Meanwhile, this just came
it's
out
just a
recently.
word.
Nijisanji is still struggling
That's funny
to
as
keep
fuck.
this crisis under control. There was a huge Mario Kart 8 event planned with many of their VTubers, and they postponed it.
Dude,
because in their
Ninja
words,
got
they want
destroyed.
to dedicate our full attention to prioritizing and ensuring the quality of our livers' well-being.
I bet. Yeah, I bet.
How ironic is that, dude? Where were you when Selen needed your support? Very good question. This just seems like crazy damage control. And I doubt anything in management will change. I hope it does,
nutty.
but for the most part, it's just another corporation. Because just one day after she got terminated, they posted merch announcements.
Huh?
I don't think anything.
What?
Wait, I feel like my dog communicates and understands better than this company. Oh my god. Look, if you're a viewer or a VTuber, there are two things you should take away from all this context. The first one being never, ever, under any circumstances, trust a corporation. And the second lesson, which I think is
I am not paying close enough attention.
For you right now,
not paying close enough attention. That's fair, gamer.
Attempt to take your own life.
Essentially,
less than 2 months ago, Doki almost took her own life because.
Let's summarize. So, due to stress and bullying within the company, which is 100% possible at any company, because I get bullied at my company I work at. At the company I work at. It's not my company. If it was my company, I'd work it differently. Anyway, stress from being bullied from the company and upper management, followed up with her trying to take her own life, and then them pretty much having control of her accounts, being like, oh, guys, here's some, this and this and this, and posting from her accounts, pretty much lying, and then terminating her, deleting all of her stuff, and her finding out that way instead of being communicated that way. That's to summarize a little bit of what happened there. And so now she's back being indie and is doing, like, way fucking better. Massive W for the bird.
And now, less than 2 months
later, look at that derpy bird.
Never able to guess that she'd be here right now.
Happy bird.
So if you also feel like you're at the darkest point of your life, just tell yourself this. Hold on a while longer. In a month from now, you could be the happiest person ever. Hey,
true.
You got this. Don't give up.
That's true.
Thank you so much for watching. This is the longest video I've ever made.
All right.
I'm curious to see how it does. I also revealed my VTuber recently during this whole drama. I know.
All right. Okay, so you guys wanted me to see the part 2 of this, because apparently it continues.
The story that we have.
Yo, look at this, guys. There's a whole ad here.
this technology.
Holy fuck!
Well, guys.
Oh my! why does the little trash can make me laugh? Why did the little trash can make me laugh? Come on, come on! I'm so weak. Okay. Let's see here. Do I still have it at 1.25 feet speed? Yeah, I do. All right.
I'll admit it straight up right now.
All right.
I was a fool. I very naively ended my last video thinking, okay, look, they can screw up more, but not to the point where it's worth making another video on. Not to the point where things don't just get...
Well, you made another video on it, so...
Times worse. No, they're not gonna actually
Clearly it got worse.
They did. Welcome to part 2. Because in just under 12 hours after my first upload, a live stream addressing the situation managed to make some of the
Okay, so this is the other video, right?
As much hate as Nijisanji
that I have
in one of the worst PR moves I've ever seen in my life. But don't worry, guys, the CEO himself has apologized in an apology video that is so bad it can be compared to the ukulele girl. And believe me, I truly wish that's all that's happened in just like barely the last week since my last upload. But no, it gets way deeper than this. And
how deep are we going?
But before we do, I recommend you watch part 1 for full context.
Okay, I did watch part 1.
That this video does indeed have a fundraiser for mental health. I thought this would make more sense than a sponsor, so if you want to contribute, please feel free. If you can't, that's totally fine.
Oh. Mama, it's time. Last words. Excuse me? Your eBay, Beanie Babies subscription has gotten out of control, and it's affecting all of us. Oh, no.
Anyway, back to the video. So, the continuation of this massive circus was on February 13th at 1:34
a message from Nijisanji Ian. Okay, so that's the other video I have pulled up.
Alira Pandora, who is one of the first ever English branch Nijisanji VTubers, tweets this out. Hi everyone, thank you for your patience during my absence. Myself and some others will be speaking about the recent situation in 30 minutes from now. Recent situation being the whole Selen Nijisanji controversy. And of course, in the most robotic and dystopian way possible, most of the English branch VTubers retweeted or quoted this tweet. Hey everybody, we have something really important to talk about. Please give us your time if you can. Or while saying things like this, important. It would mean a lot if you could take a listen. Thank you. Now, I'm not sure that every VTuber retweeting this was told what the stream was going to be about. I think they were just told, guys, don't worry. Hey, we're going to solve everything. Just retweet this.
Yeah, they were probably...
water under the bridge.
Realistically, this is one of those things, right? Where the company tells you to do it, and you as the employee, you have to do it. Sometimes you just don't have a choice in the matter. So I'm curious if it's that situation where it's like they didn't have a choice and they were having to talk about it, or if some of the VTubers are actually upper management themselves, because that is something that could happen. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's something that could happen, like where you start out as a VTuber mayhap in these companies, and then you it's like a tier list. You go up and become management mayhap. So mayhaps that's what's happened, and these guys are actually in manager roles. These 3 that are, I guess, talking about it. I've seen 3 silhouettes, so mayhap it's that. I'm not real sure, but yeah, everybody retweeting. It's pretty much like, yeah, okay, everybody retweet, or you're in trouble. Ha 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 ha.
So it was going to be Alira Pandora with 2 other Nijisanji English branch streamers joining her. Vox Akuma saying something.
Okay, I think I've seen Vox somewhere before.
The situation has been incredibly hard on all of us. We're going to share as much as we
can.
Pretty
sure I've seen his VTuber model somewhere before.
So please come and watch if you can. And of course, Ike Evelyn.
Don't know who he is.
His name, dude. Just let's just say Ike to piss people off. But why this in particular?
Yo, Ike.
In a Japanese corporation, everything is painfully calculated. So if you just as much fart, they want to know the exact volume and the smell. This situation is no different. Ike Evelyn is almost to 1 million subscribers on YouTube, and he's the 10th most subscribed in all of Nijisanji Global. And Vox is not only the biggest English branch VTuber, but also beats many of the Japanese VTubers in terms of influence. We're chosen not just because they can reach the maximum amount of people, but because they can also try to sway them with having their favorite VTubers talk about the issue. But of course, the question you might be asking yourself, why is it being streamed on Alira's channel out of all of them? Why not stream it on Vox channel that has 1.3 million subscribers? Why stream it on a channel that barely has 500,000? We can look into that later. But what matters is that at this point, people were hoping that this was going to clear things up in a good way and actually incite change internally. But this ended up
I bet it comes up.
Not only the opposite effect, it ended up making this so much worse, not just for
community
Nijisanji,
noted,
but for the livers that appeared on the stream in general.
Sounds like it really fucked up their reputation, honestly.
Even watch this disastrous message, or whatever the hell it's meant to be, we don't even need to watch a single second for you to understand how much ill intent it harbored towards Dokeeper. Remember how I said that this was tweeted at 1:30 a.m. Central European Time?
Okay.
Alira said we're going live in 30 minutes, which means they were going to go live at 2 a.m. Central European Time. Doki Bird, on the other end, had a stream she was very excited about that she had planned since the 12th, where she would play Neopets, and she was scheduled to go live at 2 a.m. Central European Time as well. This means that Nijisanji took a conscious decision.
It's coordinated.
To go at the same exact time that Doki
Holy fuck! Well,
haha. If that's not ill intent, what is?
Wait.
Predict what Nijisanji might say if you raise this issue to them. They might say, "Oh, you know, this was the only time the VTubers were available." But the thing is,
wait. But what? If they did it at the same time, what if this is just a big PR move to try and do something far more malicious? Wait, dude. Wait, what if it's like they do the stream at the same time as she's doing it, right? And we know Doki has a history with self-harm. What if they did it in a way to try to like make her feel bad enough to do more self-harm or some shit like that? I hope that's not it, because if so, that's even more fucked up. Oh no, my brain's kind of racking about thoughts here.
And as you can see right here, it would have been 1
oh
a.m. GMT. You're telling me you couldn't have found any better time for him? That already is a massive PR mistake, and we haven't even watched the video yet. So let's
I don't like this.
This live stream starts off like a funeral. It is a black screen, and people are talking in this very concerned voice, as if they're talking about someone who passed away. And as you can tell from the comments, people were very nervous about this. Someone hold me, I'm scared. If this is some type of damage control bullshit, then I'm donezo. Please God, be a real message and not PR garbage.
It's PR garbage. I bet it's PR garbage, dude.
Still held hope that the livers, that the VTubers themselves,
it's gonna be PR garbage.
So everything was culminating up until this point, and this live stream had the potential to change everything for better or for worse. Now don't worry, we're not gonna watch the whole thing. We're just gonna go through some
thank
highlights.
God.
The whole thing starts off
with so I don't have to watch it.
The mood.
The time to listen to us today. Vox and Ike are also present here with me, and we would like to take some time to address the events surrounding Zelentatski's contract termination.
Hi everyone.
To preface, we have discussed with Anycolor staff and our legal team about what we are able to say. However, due to how sensitive the situation is, please do keep in mind that there are limits to what we're able to share.
Okay.
Both we, the livers, and the company have been affected deeply and are taking the situation very seriously.
Are you now?
Everything that will be discussed has been approved by our lawyers, or is based solely on our personal experiences.
Right, so barely a minute in, and we understand very quickly this has been pre-approved by the staff of Nijisanji with their legal team. Okay, again, goes back to my point. Everything here is calculated.
But why are
don't believe me? Look at the live stream.
They're using the VTubers as shields. Wait a minute, the company's using the VTubers as shields. They're using them as mouthpieces, dude. No shot. No shot. Oh my God.
Over the past month, staff received documents from Zelen's lawyer containing examples of her claimed experiences under Anycolor. These documents in question included personal information of some livers, and when it was sent to us, we learned that there was a potential that this information could be made public.
Barely 2 minutes have passed by, and two major things have been revealed. She's seen the legal documents that Selen has sent, and she's pretty much insinuating that she feels threatened by the information contained.
Okay, first of all, these guys shouldn't be looking at the legal documents. They're not lawyers, and they're not Anycolor/Ninja, right? They're just fucking employees, essentially. They are the people. They are the VTubers. Why the fuck are they looking at these documents? What? What?
Selen was planning to leak them. Yeah, she's right. I totally see that happening. I totally see Doki Bird getting on Twitter and saying, "Hey guys, this is where Alira lives. Go say hi." But in general, the reason why I'm pointing this out is because this is going to be a pattern that will repeat in this 15-minute statement. Alira stopped talking at around 3:51 and expressed that when they heard of what Doki Bird had done to herself and how she almost lost her life, they reached out and were very concerned. Then she stopped talking. Then the biggest male VTuber in Nijisanji speaks for almost 2/3 of the video. And this is where the pattern
use your biggest mouthpiece.
Makes a comeback. This idea that Selen is mentally unstable, that she's always been off the rails, that she cannot abide by any corporate rules, and who's had many times to repent because Vox and company were trying to comfort her so many times.
I don't believe that.
She ended up
I honestly don't believe that.
In fact, the only
favoritism plays in companies like this.
Was some conversations.
Favoritism and ego plays into this. Like, you got to understand, these companies, they're not friendly to these people. It's like, this guy is the biggest male like VTuber out of that group, right? I don't know nothing about Ninja. I only know like VShojo and like Hololive stuff, and even then, that's very limited to what I know and keep up with. But if this guy is the biggest one and he's speaking for like 2/3 of the video, then he probably does have like a bigger cut and maybe even perhaps a manager-esque role in the company and is treated probably way better. And that would not surprise me in the slightest. Sorry, I'd
Selen in the music video
give my tangent
Fox said that this is to provide
speech
more context
there.
on the situation. This is an image that tells a story in 6 parts, with the first part being Selen uploading her music video to be approved by management, and the last part being the tweet of Selen that started it all. In the middle, we see management saying, "Hi Selen, sorry for the late reply. Since this video included X-Livers, it will cost more time for me to get confirmation. The audio is okay for me." And then asking, "So why this is released before I got confirmation? This video is set to private until I got confirmation. There's also a chance that you might need to readjust it before setting to public again. Also, before you post anything to explain about it, please confirm with me." And she tweeted this tweet. This is definitely a crazy form of damage control, because even though Vox is saying this is to provide context, we're still missing a lot of it if
there's
we're going
not
to delve
a lot
deep
of
into
there's
this.
a lot
This
that
music
we're
video
not
has taken
seeing
months, almost a year to be made
during,
from start to finish.
during that
not to mention that it was fully funded by Selen, $15,000 out of her own pocket, and she had approval of all parties involved, including anything copyright related. We don't even know if this was the first draft. And one thing, of course, they so carefully didn't mention in the stream is that this wasn't the first time Selen was shown this kind of behavior from management. At some point, there was this public announcement that, hey, Selen cannot host any live tournaments anymore under Nijisanji, with no explanation.
Why?
But even though it was tough, in Vox's own words, which became a pretty famous line from this 15-minute live stream,
leaving Nijisanji is always an option for Lidas.
I mean,
she had wanted to graduate.
Okay, yeah, look. Okay, yeah, of course they can leave the company. That's a no-brainer, shitlord.
And she was given very many chances to do so amicably.
The scripted live stream, the huge desperation behind this damage control attempt, and him saying graduation is always an option to someone who almost graduated their soul out of their body by, almost dying, is really weird. And it comes off in poor taste. He also mentioned how he felt backstabbed because Selen recorded a part of their conversation at one point. And continues with the narrative that she actually hurt not just the company, but the talent behind the company. He even went as far to say that he was planning to graduate at some point with her in solidarity because he believed everything she said, but it turned out to him, somehow, that everything she was saying was out of context.
Bro, he wasn't ever going. I don't think he was ever going to graduate.
Missing proof
I don't think he was.
But
He's like one of the most popular ones, right?
On what he says.
Why would he?
Watch.
Having thoroughly reviewed the documents sent to Anycolor by her lawyer.
Guys, we thoroughly...
Why? You shouldn't be looking at any of the documents!
For later. This is going to be very important. After Vox had finished talking, it was Ike's turn. He pretty much rehashed what Elira said.
I have no clue who the fuck this guy is.
That, again, he admits that he saw what was sent
I like
by
his glasses,
Selen's
though.
lawyer.
We always managed to get on really well. So that's why it was so shocking for me to learn that Anycolor had received these documents.
Dude, this was a strategic hit piece.
They
did it live as she was live. That's they wanted a darker reaction out of it. I guarantee it. They were trying so hard.
And as a gentle reminder, this was all happening
did
as Doki
she
was
find
streaming
out while they
Neopets.
were
Initially,
on
she tried to
stream?
ignore it, but the chat kept spamming her about it. She found out what they were saying, and she was shocked by the fact that they admitted so openly that they had seen these documents. Because according to her, these were meant to stay private between her legal team and Nijisanji's
that's what I figured. They're supposed to be private.
She called her lawyer, and she had to make up some sort of statement. That unfortunately meant that she had to cut short her Neopets stream. And shortly after ending, she went to Twitter to post this insane nuclear warhead. This is going to be a long one, but it addresses everything that was mentioned about her in the live stream and shuts down any attempt of damage control.
Junko, it was calculated, but boy, could they not do math. Yo, it was in their own Junko, in their own words, it was negligible. Dude, watching the world fucking burn right now. Holy shit, dude.
Since I moved back to Doki, I wanted to be hopeful for the future and never interact with that side again.
Poor girl,
so
dude.
See it all come back and reopen a wound that I was ready to heal from, and to have to talk to my lawyer again on how to respond. The document mentioned was at first made to document my thoughts and history with evidence so that my lawyer can see the general picture of what was going on, and if there were issues that should be addressed. It was first made during my darkest time mentally, and I wrote everything on my mind little by little at that time. I made the document thinking that it was never going to be public to anyone but my lawyer.
That, as it shouldn't.
A document filled with my personal information as well as privacy.
When you do legal shit, it is behind closed doors and not in the public. Most of the time, it is between the lawyer and the company. This is so fucked, dude.
That should not be public. There were no other addresses or specific locations mentioned. So pretty much what Elira and Ike were concerned about, them being doxxed, was false according to Dokibird. Regarding a recording, this was not intended to be anything other than a distribution test for planning of a collaborative event between two people, which happened to be left over from one test recording. And I never recorded any other conversation.
So it's just a test recording.
The recording was never shown anywhere, even in a legal setting, and there are no other records. However, I regret that it was mentioned, and I'm sorry to all parties affected for the misunderstanding in this. So this is referencing Vox and how he was backstabbed by finding out that there was a recording with him in it. It seemed to have been included by mistake, and even if it wasn't, she apologized. Water under the bridge. Turns out she wasn't trying to backstab you.
Oh, wow.
I requested that I just wanted to move on. Sometimes I didn't hear anything for days from the lawyers, the Nijisanji lawyers, on the other side, and felt like I'd be alone and isolated for a long time. It made it so hard for me mentally. On February 5th, my lawyer discussed and said it would be best to show the document I wrote to the other lawyers, as we have not heard from them for a week or any negotiation talks or given a meeting to discuss after my request to part. So she wanted to graduate amicably and put everything behind her. But the lawyers were pretty much ghosting her. Is there something more unprofessional than this? She sent the first document she had made to make her lawyer understand her situation, hoping that this would make Nijisanji's lawyers understand it too. Well, it was never intended to be used for anything else. I've asked my lawyer to convey that and have communication that the document as it was written wasn't going to be released. So you just want to be left alone and my lawyer did so by sending the document. Less than 2 hours after my lawyer sent the document, the termination notice came out. I was very shocked, but thought that was the last time I will hear about the document, and that this, personally, and my own opinion, was the end of the lawyers and the legal involvement.
Very
all the communication was done between lawyers and Japanese. Things are not black and white, and everything gets more complicated and muddled when lawyers are involved in a different country. When things are conveyed to multiple parties through different degrees of communication, everything turns into different narratives and different translations. I thought it was over, and I've accepted what happened and ready to move on. Everything I posted to the public about the situation was a response. If it was a month ago, it will have been different, as I was angry, but I was also very alone in my head. But it's not a month ago, and I've accepted it. I wanted it to be neutral and private, but now the whole world is involved, and the public is watching every step that happens. This paragraph is not just the worst thing out of the statement, this video, or even the last video. This is probably the worst thing to come out from the entire thing. This is something that we didn't know yet, and this is our first time finding out. I'm not perfect, and I have faults. I had to watch my dad cry and break down in front of me for the first time in my life last night. Despite everything that has happened, please show kindness to all parties involved. There are real people behind the monitors. One of the reasons why I wanted this to be private is that the internet can be a cruel place, and I knew this would happen the moment this type of notice drops. What I didn't reveal to anyone, and only my parents and therapist knew, was that it was not one attempt, but 2, which happened a few weeks after the first. My parents found me in time after searching for me for hours before anything happened. I was in a really dark place, and I do not wish this to anyone. No one should go through what I went through. I reveal this now not for pity, but to state that no life, no matter what, should be risked for ego or winning anything. There are no winners in this. Please don't make it like high school. Treat everyone like adults.
But it's always like high school. That's the problem.
For those who wish to see receipts or documents or anything else, hoping I will reveal them. I'm sorry, but these are the things that should be private.
It's her own
lawyers. Revealing private documents and talking about the details within will only just make things worse and more complicated as outside parties get involved, and will just hurt everyone. No one deserves to be pushed over the edge. So many people have got hurt and involved even if they were innocent bystanders. In the end,
I'm only up to date thanks to Sane, and
this will be the last statement I have to make.
It got slightly worse because of Nijisanji yesterday. I don't even know about the Nijisanji stuff.
I meant
Kurosanji.
Literally the definition.
Maybe I'll find out here in a second, though.
Nijisanji dehumanized Selen and treated her like a number until the very end, with their lawyers ghosting her. I mean, just imagine you send something that you wrote when you were in your most vulnerable state just to try to make them understand the situation a bit better. 2 hours later, you get terminated and you're not even notified about it. That's crazy. And we also found out that unfortunately it wasn't one attempt, but 2. With the first one being
different times
before the music video fiasco even happened. Initially, we thought that the music video was the final straw that broke the camel's back, but no. This, if anything, shows me that Selen had been under a toxic environment for longer than we could have thought.
Yeah, because like she's not able to do events either, right? That's
I can't even imagine.
Jesus Christ.
But right now, in this very moment, what people really wanted to know was, how the hell did Nijisanji manage to self-report again? This time,
they did!
Yo, man, when we got these documents, when Nijisanji showed us these lawyer documents, man.
Which y'all shouldn't have seen!
Wait
I'm so pissed.
What? You weren't even meant to look at them. And so folks, another attempt.
That's what I'm saying! I'm so glad. I'm so glad that he brought up. They should not have been able to look at the documents. That pisses me off.
Extremely wrong. I think this might be the most disliked video in not just Nijisanji history.
Look at that dislike. Ew, that's sexy.
Guys, because as Alira said, she volunteered to use her channel as a platform.
After discussion with the members of Nijisanji,
Sucks to be you, dude.
But little did she know, she was being used as a human meat shield.
Yeah, there it is! Yo! Straight up human meat shield.
It was only meant for lawyers to see, no one else. Shaking my head, they tried though. Immediately after this,
Niji is so dumb! Why are they so stupid?
Yeah, before you say anything, it did get community noted. As
oh, hell yeah.
Regarding concerns that have arisen in relation to the current situation.
Foreheads.
Who's running this? Who? Because I bet you an intern would do a better job at this point. So we pretty much say, in order to check the validity of Selen and her lawyer's claim,
Holy
Any
shit.
Color Inc. shared only necessary parts of the information sent by her lawyer with our livers and led to an internal investigation. They double down and say that they have not made any confidentiality violations regarding submitted documents for legal claims such as these. However, regarding the specific information and documents which Selen's lawyer requested that we do not share with our livers, with utmost consideration of this request, Any Color has not shared any such information.
Did it?
That's weird.
Huh?
According to Vox, he thoroughly checked the documents.
Most of their tweets are got noted. That seems about right.
Documents sent to Any Color
But did they just say?
Our livers are not held to any confidentiality.
Wait, no shut! These fuckers just said we have looked into the matter, and we find that us as the company, we are not at fault, and neither is our livers. That we are not the ones who are to blame. They did not just do this. No.
There are no legal issues regarding the information shared to the public in the stream made by our livers. This doesn't make any sense. What do you mean? The confidentiality obligation wasn't made towards them anyway.
They're so stupid.
They weren't meant to see it. After a rigorous legal check, Any Color hereby declares it has not made any confidentiality violations.
We've done the research. We've looked into it. We are not the ones to blame here. We've done everything legally. Dude, you haven't. These people are fucking stupid.
Community note. The new account is
so aggravating.
She was promised the information would only be shown to lawyers as it was an HR complaint.
Oh
Sharing
my
this information
god.
without consent may be a violation of PIPEDA as
Oh
Bird
my
is Canadian.
god.
This notice did anything but clear things up. Again, they made it worse. They made it way worse.
Yeah.
Now, this post was made at 5:16 Central European Time, February 13th, right? Not even 19 minutes afterwards, they posted the CEO
oh my
of
god.
Any Color
No shot. The CEO came out and spoke.
Oh man, the CEO stepping up. Damn.
Yo, I bet it's all about like fucking taxes and shit.
No, you're not thinking that, right? At this point,
or
you can't be.
Business. As their CEO?
This long bow was used for memes. I'll show you later. I died laughing.
In the notice, we unfortunately used the expression
to
describe performance impact. I deeply regret this outcome and will be rethinking how our communication in English is done. Without a doubt, Selen was integral to the growth of Nijisanji EN.
Yeah, that much is clear, especially when you terminated her without her even knowing.
yeah,
definitely. Actions speak louder than words. That's why this entire video kind of means nothing, especially since around 3 or 4 hours ago, before this was even published, the live stream of Vox, Alira, and Ike took place, which invalidates everything he's apologizing for, by the way. The effect of this video on your reputation will be negligible. This is the sloppiest toppy of their lives. No, I can't.
He gave himself the sloppiest toppy of his life. Oh, that's such a good one. What the fuck? Notice how the background is mostly black, like their company. Yo, and their VTubers when they were making the announcement was all black. It was a black screen. Oh my fuck, they are a black company. Confirmed. I see it now. I get it.
Too lazy to watch. Team Gold advantage minus 10K. And yes, the memes are hilarious, and they're even being used to troll a dumbass hashtag called positive spam for Niji-en, created by Niji fanatics trying to flood Nijisanji with positive comments. Now the whole hashtag is just trolls, which is great. But you see, the main reason why the apology of the CEO means nothing is because this is a classic case of apologize only when you get caught. The stream of Vox and Ike was just a beefed up version of a classic thing that
they got caught with their pants down, and now they're trying to cover their asses.
Problematic. Except this was the first time where they got caught. Just last year, they had done the same exact thing to a VTuber under Nijisanji.
We just learned about her!
Zion was going through something terrible, which is a stealth suspension, where she has to tell the public that she's quote-unquote taking a break, when in reality Nijisanji wanted to suspend her just under the radar. During that time, she was also being doxxed. Nijisanji did nothing
about it. She got doxxed?
Fans had no idea.
We didn't hear that part, did we?
Constantly. She had spoken up about how much of a dark company this is, about how terrible the working conditions are, and Nijisanji successfully turned and swayed public opinion on her. She got so much hate over this.
It's all coming together!
Looked like a bad person. This is exactly what they were trying to do with that stream on Selen, except thankfully this time the public knew better. But now people are waking up. Apologize to her now. Zion did nothing wrong. She was the first martyr, and you all hated her because she spoke the truth. She told you Nijisanji was evil. She told you any color was black, and you didn't believe her because you ate Tazumi's shit right up. Tazumi being Riku Tazumi, the sloppy toppy CEO.
Sloppy toppy CEO. The sloppy toppy CEO. That is what he is.
Working under Nijisanji is. I mean, look at this.
Jesus
Christ. Had to take down a stream because she had made a joke. These nuts. Because
we literally just learned about this.
She was almost insinuating that she was sponsored by a company called These Nuts.
Hello, welcome to the stream. We're learning about drama today.
She had to private the stream because of a dumb joke.
Hello.
Take it a step further. This is Zion's alt account. This is her new persona.
All right.
Go support her definitely if you're supporting Doki, because she went through what Doki went through, except she had to go through it all alone. So with all of that being said, what are the main
and she's still trucking on, so that's massive W for her.
Other than them successfully running down the reputation to the point where it went underground and is racing to the Earth's core,
the interstellar core,
who runs Hololive by comparison, is being praised by people for actually treating their talent like human beings. And while yes, there's a lot of criticism in memes to be found about Nijisanji and how bad a company they are, they also, as I mentioned in my last video, lost some stock price. But it's nothing
it doesn't work again.
To bring down the whole company and make them go bankrupt or anything.
It doesn't work again.
The 3 VTubers who tried to run a smear campaign on Selen are going to be just fine within the next few weeks because their fan bases are huge and things will die down as they always do. So is Nijisanji going to walk away scot-free from this without any real consequence? No. Because here's the thing.
I think they got really fucked. They really fucked themselves.
As big as
they're
it is
dumb.
Right now, is still considered quite niche. The mainstream still doesn't participate in it, much less knows about it. As a VTuber corporation, one of your biggest interests is to reach these mainstream people because that's how you'll ultimately really grow as a company. Now, what's really interesting about this whole controversy is that unlike others, this was picked up by some very mainstream personalities. Anyone from Moist Critical to
Moist
gamers,
talks about it.
To people
I think I've seen Muda talk about it.
Like, for
did
example,
I?
Patters, who's
I'm pretty sure I've seen Muda talk about it.
I can't tell you the amount of people I saw.
I guarantee I've watched
saying,
Muda
I know
talk
nothing
about
it. VTubers. I clicked on this video anyway. I'm gonna support Doki, Nijisanji. So the real consequence here is the fact that so many people are finding out about VTubing with the idea of, oh, Nijisanji's bad. Avoid them. Watch anyone else. But this doesn't mean that Nijisanji.
Yo, that's what I picked up. That's what I've taken away from this. I never watched Nijisanji, so therefore I don't have to worry about watching them to begin with.
After getting community
I do get a cool bird out of it, though. I get to watch a cool bird now.
Made your point there. But what's crazy here is that we saw our first mainstream Nijisanji defender, the streamer 39Daff. In her offline chat, she went on this tirade saying that people were stupid for supporting Selen and that things weren't as simple as they seem. Now, she has participated in streams with Nijisanji talent before, so maybe she might be a bit biased. Who knows? Regardless, when people found out about her statements, they made sure to call her out on Twitter repeatedly, more than once.
I'm only big Duff for not knowing about who Duff is.
Typed, but Fallside made a video
where he went
everything she said and countered her arguments pretty well. So if you want to check that out, I recommend his video. There's also a lawyer that goes by the name of Legal Mindset that went through the entire case himself, watched the video of the 3 VTubers, and pretty much gave his opinion. It was pretty entertaining.
Okay.
Points. I recommend checking that out too if you want to know more.
That's a 40-something long minute.
In my opinion, I do not think that it was a form of harassment.
Harassment is not an opinion.
It's true.
Legal analysis.
True.
Things that legally constitute harassment, like your, as a friend, I don't feel this is harassment. Go for yourself. It's a legal analysis.
Destroy! Wait a minute. Yo, why that lawyer so based? Wait a minute. He's right though.
This is the only time the people actually saw what they were doing. It was so bad that it reached
even my workplace, when I talked about them harassing me in the workplace, they're like, you're not being harassed by anybody. And the HR was clearly harassing me, coming at my throat, because I got in trouble for some stupid shit. Like, stuff I didn't even do. And they were trying to get me in trouble. I was like, yeah, no, I'm not signing that paper. Because you don't have to sign, like in a plant workplace like I work at, it's like, They want you to sign a paper being like, oh yeah, I agree to doing this wrongdoing, and it's like, no, I'm not signing that. I know my rights. You guys were harassing me, not the other way around.
Stream, and that's their
Holy
biggest
shit.
problem right now. Of course, this all plays into a bigger problem, which is Japanese work culture and how dystopian it is. But the fact that it's reaching the West too, this is concerning. Doki Bird has expressed the fact that she wants to move on, so I'm going to respect that. This will be the last video on this topic that I'm going to make. Look, she seems to be doing well. She just did a fundraiser.
Hell yeah! Let's go, Doki!
She raised so much money. She inspired the hell out of me.
Hell yeah,
dude. On this
dude.
video with a bit more of a conservative amount to help people out as much as we can. But honestly, as long as you treat people with respect and know that you are worth so much no matter what, that is what I want you to get from this video and this entire situation. I always talk about crazy situations. This topic
kind of
was a bit more
warm-hearted
serious, but I'm glad to have been able to spread awareness about it anyway. I'll see you in the next video. I love you. Mwah.
Aw, okay. Alright. All right, so we don't have to watch the message one because we get the gist of that. The Rose throws it down. I'm gonna subscribe to Mugen. Check Mugen out, gamers, if you haven't. You check Mugen out. All right, so time for the last video of today. I will have to I will watch the Maxar Monster Hunter video later when I do the reacting to what you guys want me to watch. So the last one I got is by Rev Says Desu.
Service. Built for how you
we've got an ad in front of it, so you know, check out that sick nasty ad.
You made it. I'm a sweaty Betty, and your hair's fresh as a day.
Okay.
Hey, what's up?
All right, we got a Rev Says Desu. So Nijisanji situation just got worse. So this is uploaded an hour ago. So real quick, I know a lot of people don't like Rev, but I don't care. Rev's pretty cool. I think he's cool. As a matter of fact, here I'm gonna even subscribe to him and hit that like button because I'm just that cool of a gamer. Hogrio, what covering VTube drama? This is unexpected. I am. This is the last one. Grillo, is that you? Yes, it's the Grillo boy. Alright, guys. Last bit of drama today. We're gonna see what's happened in the last hour. What have I missed? Nijisanji has worked 0 days without a scandal. Oh, I was just about to watch that one. Well,
it seems to never end.
Oh wait, I'm in his. Hang on, I'm in his way, aren't I? Hang on, let me move out of the way, maybe. Can I move myself? You okay, Brandy? You okay, Bupper? My bupper is acting very cringe. Let's see here. 1 second. Whoa, there's 2 of me. Hang on, I'm just gonna whoop. I kind of have a new setup, so I'm a little bit all over the place. Sorry in advance, gamers. All right, last video. Let's go.
Like the Nijisanji related drama is starting to die down. Either their management or their livers decides to stoke the flames and once again cause more issues. This time we're going to see 3 EN livers make some questionable statements when replying to users criticizing them on Twitter.
Wait,
now, we've seen a common tactic with Nijisanji EN in the past where they drop these sort of group tweets where they all send out a tweet at the same time with a similar message. In the past, we saw this classic example where they all said, "We love Nijisanji, our family, blah, 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 blah." Well, we've seen a new edition of that yesterday.
Thank you,
where a bunch of the livers tweeted out that they love artists and made related
Well, God,
tweets
I would really hope you like the artists.
Now, everything was going good until
I have one artist.
Where 3 of their livers would decide to clap back at the haters.
This stuff
in the
saw
replies. Now,
happening
the severity
live.
of these replies
You saw this happening live?
One is a more typical clapback. What the fuck? The next is starting to get a little defensive about recent criticism of their organization, and the latter is an example of one of their livers discriminating against a group of people based on the color of their skin and their sexual preference.
What?
Yeah, not good stuff. But we're going to start with this one from Wilson. So he made...
Remember, according to these folks, adding gasoline to a fire helps calm it down. Yeah.
Also, never let anyone bully you.
You see, I've learned many things as being a VTuber over the years, guys. If you add more gasoline on top of the fire, no, nay, I say, take the whole container of the gasoline and just throw it into a blazing building and allow the container to explode. The drama will indeed calm down. What you mean gas puts out all fires?
Drawing what you are passionate about.
Dude.
Fan art is the cutest stuff ever.
Holy shit.
Where a user replies saying, "Good thing no one gets bullied in Nijisanji N," of course making a reference to the recent Doki Bird situation, where Wilson would reply with this: "Did you form that opinion from your favorite drama tuber? You doing this is harassment.
Drama tuber, guys, I'm sorry. Guys, I'm sorry. As a drama tuber, you know me, out here making all the drama. I just have to say it. Nijisanji, they're a black company. And they're mentally handicapped. I'm allowed to say the actual word, by the way. I can say the R word. I'm allowed to. I've got the pass.
Instead of spreading trash.
I won't detail as to why.
Now, this is
my own personal business.
Reply for 2 reasons.
All right.
Number 1, it is a very bold call out. The target of this drama tuber classification here is very wide. Normally, when it comes to VTuber related news and drama, You think of
we
me
got
and maybe another handful
maybe like
of people
False Eyes or the Bunny Boy.
People that are larger channels covering it. But in this situation with Nijisanji and the recent drama, it's been picked up by a lot of channels outside of the usual suspects, including people like Charlie! Or other people like Pyrocynical or Mudahar.
Mudahar.
Very, very mainstream. I know Mudahar. Because the actions of Nijisanji management and some other EN livers are outrageous, and people are calling that out across the board on YouTube. So to label drama tubers in this context is a very big net to cast.
Are they?
Now, going back
you
to
can't label them as drama tubers because they're not.
About this idea of a bully. So this user is referring to a bully in Nijisanji N, and basically Wilson is saying that you got that opinion from your favorite drama tuber.
Oh my god.
My brother in Christ, people got that idea from your own management. It wasn't drama tubers or YouTubers propagating this idea out of thin air. They're basing that accusation of a bully being, or bullies being in your company, based on the termination announcement from AnyColor, where they acknowledge a bully or bullies in the company.
They do mention
under the bus. There was an angry mob heading your way, and they pointed them in your direction by naming you in this termination announcement.
When they called out bullies in the termination, all that did was go, it wasn't the company. No. It was other live streamers. Here, Meat Shield. Picks them up. You guys can't hurt us. Not the company. It's the other livers. It's their fault.
This is the group that gave out this information about the bully. It's not just the people covering this whole situation. It is Nijisanji themselves that made this idea public. Now,
dude, this is a horrible gaming experience.
Yo, I love ads, guys. Do you like ads? We've got ads here.
Research upgrades for this thing. Can't you just?
He ain't got time to research upgrades. What? I believe a previous dispute. I don't know what any of that is.
Moving forward, we all know that this action by Nijisanji has greatly affected.
Yeah, look at all those negative numbers, dude.
Extensive damage.
Holy
at this
shit!
Point in the last 30 days,
look at
Nijisanji EN livers
That's
have
crazy.
lost hundreds of thousands of subscribers
Holy
collectively.
Shit.
In fact, the 20th was the first day where the entire group didn't lose subscribers. It was the first day, and then these livers come out and say this stuff. But what Wilson said is nowhere near what Yuki said. So
okay, who's Yuki?
You can see, very popular EN liver from Nijisanji. They would go on to say some very disparaging things about groups of people based on the color of their skin and their sexual preference. Definitely not helping this whole situation. So here is the thread of responses. Yuki, once again, making a positive artist tweet where this user would reply saying, "What do you think about straight white men? Remind us of your opinion about straight white men, please, Mr. Positivity and Love Spreader." So this comment will actually have a history as we'll see. It's not just out of thin air, but it's more of a troll reply. I don't know why you would reply to this in the first place. It's not a good idea, and it was certainly not a good idea.
Yeah, Twitter beef you're not supposed to reply to at all. You just ignore that shit and don't address it normally. They're just as irresponsible and selfish as your response. That is so childish. But then I guess the first one is childish as well.
And selfish as your response. So they are essentially calling an entire group of people irresponsible and selfish. Obviously not a very smart thing to do in a position like this.
It's weird. My back itches. It's like there's a giant target on it. That's crazy.
White people or straight people is safe edgy. You can do that on Twitter and places like that with no blowback. Okay? But at the same rate, you have Nijisanji, defenders and alike, saying that what Yuki replied with is in no way racist because you can't be racist to white people based on this definition of racism, or they're trying to say that white people are trying really hard to be oppressed. Now, I don't think you have to go really that deep. You just need to ask a very simple question.
Dude, you can completely be racist towards white people. It's possible.
Do you think it's okay
to
belittle and treat people differently based on the color of their skin or their sexual preference?
Listen, I treat everybody the same, okay? I put I put my sweatpants on one nipple at a time, just like everybody else. God damn it. And I will tell you this much. You don't treat anybody any different. I work with people who are like straight up their work release. I don't treat those guys any different. I'm just saying, just because they're potential criminals and could snap my neck at any moment? Definitely not out of fear, but still. No, you treat everybody, like, equally, dude. The only, like, disagreement I have is, like, you treat people, toxic to toxic people, wholesome to wholesome people. If people are wholesome, you be wholesome to them. If people are toxic, you be a toxic asshole to them, too. If you're going to put your dick on the table, I might as well put my metaphorical dick on the table as well. Ignore that sound. That was not my metaphorical dick.
Think it is okay in some circumstances to do that? You're a problem. Tweets like this are a problem. And I don't know why anyone would put up with this. It's not necessary. It's toxic. And it alienates a large portion of your audience for absolutely no reason. You didn't have to reply to this, besides the fact that it just looks horribly unprofessional. Could have ignored him. As a professional Nijisanji EN liver. But moving forward, that was kind of just my response, right? I didn't really want to go too deep in this. I thought it was really only worthy of a tweet going over this. Not much else to say until I saw this tweet from Kirsha.
It's not the first time they said stuff about straight white men in the company as also. Wait, what? This is like an ongoing thing? What's wrong with being straight white and a male? Dude, listen, Sane said that the age of 30 is in high demand. Next November, I'm gonna be in high demand, baby. That's all I'm saying.
Supercut of every time Yuki Violetta was weird about white people.
Huh?
Now this is a 5.5.
How can you be weird about it?
Of Yuki saying disparaging things about white people. You gotta be some kind of.
All right. As a white person, who has worked since I was literally 7 with my grandfather on the farm, working for everything that I currently have worked in like actual businesses. Let's see, 7+ years and an additional 5 years on that. I'm not doing math right now. How? What?
Weirdo.
I want to hear.
5+ minute long compilation of you attacking a group of people based on the color of their skin. Now, I'm not going to sit here and play the entire 5.5 minute clip, but I'm going to give you a quick compilation of some of his
okay.
involving this
Hit me with that hoinky splinky, Rev.
Oh, one does. I guess.
From each team, join me
White people. He's sweet. Yeah, he is. Surprise, white man does the bare minimum. You know how when like white people kiss?
What?
I don't. What?
Huh?
Fucking
the fuck's that mean?
What? Like in the movies and stuff, when white people kiss, it's like they look like they're in pain.
What?
You know what? White people's hot dog sucks in more ways than.
I support B-Dub's BOGO Boneless Thursday because the boneless can't support themselves.
But now I'm just hungry. God, I love ads, dude.
No one.
I have literally $0.
Fucking.
Ooh.
It's because the hosts are two white people. It kind of
Bro,
looks.
what the fuck?
Bad.
He's just racist, right?
It kind of looks like it would match you if you were a pasty white person.
Oh my god, dude.
So I'm gonna click out of that. You're just walking around and...
Bro, as a pasty white person, I am offended. I'm truly hurt. Oh, I'm crying and crying so hard right now. I'm so offended. Oh, no. I'm offended by the stupid purple-haired man. I ain't got any clever comebacks, dude. I don't know what to say. This is so stupid. Why is he this way? That's so racist for no reason.
An old white couple passes by you and they're like, hello, whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like... hello.
They're being nice old people!
Why did... We don't know each other.
It's just old people being old people!
Why are you smiling at me?
What? What? Huh? Wait, so two old people who just happen to be white walk by you, sir, and they go, "Oh, hello there, dearie. Hello, how are you? Hello." They're old! What do you mean? Oh my god, I'm losing my fucking patience. Dude, I thought I was missing a few chromosomes. This guy's missing like the whole fucking DNA strip, dude. Holy fuck.
What business do you have?
They're old! They're just being
that's
polite!
Only a small portion of his comments about white people. If you want the full compilation, I'll put a link to the thread in the description.
Fuck.
But regardless of your feelings about this situation, can we agree on something very basic? What he is saying is weird.
It is weird
to have such a focus on a group of people that your hatred of them starts to leak out.
I don't know who the purple-haired
guy
is, but I already hate him. I don't like this guy.
There is a compilation.
I'm happy
negatively.
Dude, I am so happy I never watched any of the Nijisanji talents. Holy fuck! I think I dodged a massive bullet. Like, like oh my god, the only talents I've watched in like other VTube, like industry VTubing, right, is like maybe some VShojo talents I'm like really smutting about, like, you know, Zen and Iron Mouse and Project Mel. And other than that, like maybe like Calliope Mori and Gargara, like from HoloLive. But like I never got into Nijisanji, and I'm kind of happy I didn't. This guy is fucking weird. Like, I can't get around that. Dude, when old people pass me, it don't matter what they look like. They're like, "Oh, hello there, sweetie. How is your day?" "Oh, I'm doing great today, ma'am. How is your day?" "Oh, I haven't seen my grandson in about a week and a half." "Oh, I hope it gets better for you." That's all you gotta respond with, homie. Not, "The fuck who? I don't know you." Well, of course you don't know them, but they're old. They're half senile. Of course they're gonna be polite to you, you dumb fuck. Jesus Christ!
About that, it is a very weird thing. Now, places like Twitter will applaud this because, like I said, being anti-white or anti-straight is something that is applauded on spaces like this. But if you show compilations like this to a normal person, they will think you're very weird.
This
treatment of
that's fucking weird.
The color of their skin is something to not be celebrated, regardless of who it's directed at or what group it's directed at.
True.
And a lot of people have been raising other comparisons where they're comparing this situation to other things that have happened in the history of Nijisanji, like a situation that involved now graduated VTuber Kyo.
Yo, it's a bounty. Yo, maybe Bounty can put a bounty out on Nijisanji. How about that? Hey, display. Okay, cool. Yo, I love ads. We love ads here in this family.
So only a few months ago, Kyo was under immense fire from people on social media for comments he made about Koreans, where he basically compared the topic of plastic surgery and affixed that to Korean people. Now, he was dragged. Initially, he was not going to apologize for anything and really doubled down, but people got really mad and called him a racist.
Why do you have ads on? Because, listen,
be...
if I don't have the ads on, how else am I going to support Rev, right? You expect me to go actually to Rev's Twitch and give him money? Nope. Yo, if I have ads on, I want you to think about it this way. Those YouTubers, they're getting at least something out of it. It may be small, but they're getting something. And if I have to suffer, you have to suffer. Also, I don't know how ad blockers work.
Do something. Now, we saw eventually Kyo would apologize for these
comments. It pays
would take some
to
time
be an
off
idiot
to
like me.
reflect on his actions. Basically, a subtle suspension. And it's something that we know that Nijisanji has done with other livers, a stealth suspension.
Okay, yeah.
They don't officially announce
we've
it.
Established that they do
because
this.
Of the break, that was likely what was going on. But people compare his comments to that of Yuki, and they're very confused as to why Yuki has never been punished or really even criticized for any of these comments about white people. And the hypocrisy, of course, is glaring.
Thank you. I'm happy you enjoy the laugh.
A lot of people compared some of the comments made by Yuki to that of Victoria, who also clapped back at a now deleted post saying, "Explain to me how supporting fan artists makes me a corporate bootlicker without using random buzzwords you learned this week." Now, this reply is aggressive and probably not the best idea given the current situation.
They're really out here.
But I don't think this is in any
Dude,
way
they're really out here, like,
to what Yuki said. This comment is directed towards a negative reply to her tweet that has to do with the substance of what that person was saying. Yuki's tweets and the compilation.
That's why I said, thank you.
Has to do with the traits of a human
I appreciate
being,
it.
the color of their skin. That's a lot more serious than something like
I
this.
Can't get over the skin thing, dude.
People would just applaud
That's so nutty.
as a funny clapback by a VTuber, especially one from Nijisanji. But as you can tell, this situation has
worked
get worse.
0 days without scandal. Holy fuck, dude.
And it's really been carried on at this point by the livers. Because management hasn't done much openly, at least, over the past
They ain't done shit.
But the livers,
except make things worse.
Address made on Alira's channel and through these recent replies has stoked the flames and made the drama continue. But for now, that's the update on the Nijisanji related situation.
Being part of a black company, it sure is a lot of work.
Topics in the comments
so it seems.
Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
All right. Yo, a Heroes War ad. Yo, we ended it off with a Heroes War ad. I'm so happy. I love Heroes. Okay, gamers, hang on. Let me just do this real quick. We're gonna whomp. All right, guys. So, all right. Before I end off the stream, first of all, please check out Rev Says Desu. Please check out our previous 2 people that we checked out. Speaking of company, yippee. Speaking of company, yippee. Hey, yo. So now I kind of have an idea of what's been going on. I'm a little bit more informed. I'm a little more caught up, and I hope you guys are as well. We've gone down this bit of a rabbit hole. I felt like watching the Nuxtaku video at the beginning was a good segue as to understand that these companies, they are not nice to any of their, like, employer or employees. They are just property puppets to be puppeteered around, which is really fucked at the end of the day, but that is what it is. And honestly, I hope Doki Bird keeps doing better and keeps growing. I mean, it's clear this company is garbo, and if anything I've learned is Nijisanji kind of garbage, and we should probably just avoid them altogether. I hate to say that. I don't know any of the people, behind anything. But it seems like Doki's been really nice. Also, I think Doki just had a collab with Fillion, so why not check out some of those clips? I bet those clips are going around. Doki with Fillion sounds like that would be chaotic, because I love Fillion stuff, so who knows? Who knows, gamers? Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me on this bit of a rabbit hole. I know this video, or this stream, was a bit different. I think she is doing very well. Much better, her voice. Hell yeah, dude. Much better. Don't fall down the hole as hard as me. And saying watching 10-hour videos about it. Holy fuck, dude. Well, I hope that I picked some of the better videos to watch. I know that I think I've heard Mudahar talk about it, and I've probably seen Charlie talk about it. I didn't want to bring those videos up because I'm pretty sure I'd already heard them when I was at work, because I do put videos in the background on, like, channels that I watch. But honestly, thanks for the quick short stream. When you going to stream again, I will be streaming Friday, guys. We will be streaming. It will probably be in the evening. Probably be One Piece, unless my friends want to do something else. If my friends convince me to play something else, we will play something else. But I will be streaming. It'll be on Friday, probably after 2:30, kind of around the same time that I started today. If not, like, later in the evening, kind of around this current time. It depends on if I get held over at work. My work is... My job is kind of screwing me over right now. They hate a lot of us out here. It's really cringe. But, yeah. Thank you guys so much for coming and joining me down this rabbit hole. I do appreciate it a lot. As always, I don't get paid for looking at any of this stuff, but I was really behind on the dramas, and I need to get caught up. So I figured I'd get caught up with you guys. Thank you guys so much for coming by. Junko, Hagrio, Dark. Your name is hard to say. Okay, if they can convince you to play, they really have high persuasion. They do. They really do. They're some of my closest friends. They're really good at persuading me to do things. Shit, Frozen Pool, and of course the Antisocial Contract. Thank you guys all for coming by and checking out the stream. It really does mean the most. And remember to stay toxic people, wholesome to wholesome people, guys. Check out Doki Bird and send her a lot of love. Please do. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye!